In the midst of life's endless noise and the constant struggle to control, there lies a simple truth we often overlook. We are carrying burdens that were never meant to be ours forever. We hold on to ideas, expectations, and desires, believing they will bring us peace. But what if peace does not arise from fixing everything? What if peace emerges the moment we release our grip? The Buddha reminds us, "You only lose what you cling to." This is not merely a poetic phrase, it is an invitation to live differently. Letting go is not about defeat. It is the movement of wisdom. It is the art of releasing what no longer nourishes our spirit. So, as you listen now, pause, breathe deeply, allow yourself to slow down. The moment you loosen your grasp, you begin to return home, to your peace, your clarity, your truest self. Letting go is where peace begins. Lesson 1. Let go of control, because control is a mirage. We often convince ourselves that if only we could control everything, the people in our lives, the unfolding of events, the opinions others hold of us, then finally, we would feel safe, valued, and at peace. So we plan endlessly, try to shape others, stress over what hasn't yet happened, and cling to routines as if they will protect us from life's storms. Yet life, in its wisdom, refuses to be tamed. Buddhism teaches us Anicca, impermanence. All things are in constant motion. People change, circumstances shift, emotions rise and fall like waves, seasons turn, even our deepest beliefs evolve. When we attempt to control what is designed to flow and change, we invite suffering. We suffer first in the fear and tension that comes from trying to hold life still, and then again, in the inevitable sorrow when everything changes despite our efforts, because it always will. Letting go of control does not mean becoming careless. It does not mean we stop caring or planning with mindfulness. It means we release the illusion that peace comes only when the world matches our desires. It means we stop clinging to what is beyond our power and start flowing with the rhythm of life. Imagine yourself like a river, moving with grace, adapting to rocks and bends, not resisting, not forcing, but continuing onward. There is strength in this softness. There is courage in meeting life as it truly is, not as we wish it would be. And in this meeting, we discover the real power, the power of presence, acceptance, and clarity. Letting go is not a sign of failure. It is the mark of someone who sees deeply, someone who chooses to place their energy where it matters, in their own heart, mind, and actions. This is where true peace begins, not from control, but from trust. Lesson 2. Let go of attachment, because what you cling to clings to you. There's a quiet trap that so many of us fall into, a trap disguised as comfort. We cling to people, titles, possessions, outcomes. We tell ourselves, if I hold on tightly enough, I will feel secure. I will feel whole. But in truth, attachment binds us. What we own begins to own us. In Buddhist wisdom, this craving is known as tanha, the deep thirst to grasp and hold what is, by its nature, fleeting. The more we cling to the changing tides of life, relationships, jobs, identities, the more we set ourselves up for sorrow. Because all things change, and the tighter we hold, the deeper the pain when change arrives. But letting go of attachment does not mean we stop loving or caring. It means we shift how we love. We learn to love with open hands rather than closed fists. Like holding a bird gently, we allow life to breathe. We let it be free, and in doing so, we set ourselves free too. Often, attachment grows from fear, the fear of being alone, of not being enough, of losing what gives us a sense of worth. But true peace cannot come from what is outside of us. It blooms from within, when we stop demanding that life meet our conditions and instead find contentment in what is. The Buddha teaches us, freedom begins the moment we stop tying our joy to what we cannot control. When we stop saying, I need this to be happy, and begin to trust, I can be at peace, whatever may come or go. The one who lets go is not empty. They are finally free. Lesson 3. Let go of the past, because it no longer lives here. The past is like a silent shadow that follows us, whispering old stories, old regrets, old pain. We often carry these moments as if they are sacred burdens, clutching memories of what we did, what we failed to do, what we lost along the way. Like stones in our pocket, they weigh us down, but we convince ourselves we need them. We replay scenes in our mind, hoping to change their ending. Yet no matter how many times we revisit yesterday, it remains unchanged. Buddhism teaches us the gentle but powerful art of mindfulness, to awaken fully to this moment, to this breath, to this heartbeat. The present is the only place where life truly happens. The past is a reflection, the future, an unwritten page. Here and now is where peace lives. But when we cling to the past, we lose sight of this moment. It's like trying to walk forward while staring only at what's behind us. We stumble. We miss the beauty at our feet. And still, we drag the heavy sack of old sorrow, hoping that somehow it will complete us. Letting go of the past does not mean erasing it or pretending the wounds never existed. It means we choose to no longer let it define who we are. It means we stop giving it the power to steal today's light. Healing begins not by reliving the old chapters, but by gently closing them and asking, what will I write now? As the Buddha taught, suffering is born not from what has happened, but from our refusal to let it go. The memory itself is not what binds us. It is our attachment to that memory that tightens the chain. Forgiveness is part of this release. To forgive is not to say the harm was right or deserved. It is to free your own heart from the grip of the past, to release the story so you can breathe again. Whether you forgive yourself or another, you do so not for them, but for your own peace. When you finally lay down the weight of what has been, you will feel it. The lightness, the space where new joy can bloom, the clarity that allows you to see this moment as it truly is. Fresh, full of possibility, unburdened by what no longer is. You are not what happened. You are not the scars or the sorrow. You are the choice you make now. You are the strength that rises when you decide to let go. The past is already gone, but your peace, your future, begins with this breath. Lesson 4. Let go of ego, because it builds walls between you and the world. The ego is like a mask we wear without even realizing it, a mask made of stories we tell ourselves about who we are, what we deserve, and why we matter. It whispers in our ear, I must be right, I must win, I must be seen as special. At first, this voice feels like confidence, like strength. But beneath it, there's a quieter truth. Ego is fear, dressed up as power. It's the fear of being unseen, the fear of being ordinary, the fear that, without this mask, we might not be enough. Buddhist wisdom speaks of anatta, non-self. This teaching reminds us that who we are is not fixed. You are not your name, your job, your possessions, or your opinions. Even your thoughts and feelings are like clouds passing across the vast sky of your awareness. The true self is not the mask. It is the space behind the mask, the quiet watcher, the presence that remains when everything else falls away. But ego resists this truth. It builds walls to separate. This is me, that is you. It competes, it compares, it clings to titles, status, and the need to be right. And in doing so, it isolates us, not just from others, but from our own peace. Think of how many arguments are born not from truth, but from ego's need to win. How many friendships break not for lack of love, but because no one would say, I was wrong. How often do we feel hurt or angry because our fragile image of self was challenged? Ego is obsessed with appearances. It wants the world to see you as powerful, wise, untouchable. But this image must always be protected, defended, maintained. It's exhausting. And the moment someone sees through it, or fails to treat you the way you expect, the ego feels wounded, under attack. Letting go of ego doesn't mean losing yourself. It means losing the need to prove yourself. You stop measuring your worth by the reactions of others. You stop clinging to labels, positions, or victories. Instead, you root your sense of self in something deeper, your quiet, unshakable inner truth. The ego says, if I win, I matter. But the heart of wisdom whispers, I matter because I am. When ego softens, pride gives way to humility. Judgment gives way to compassion. And in place of chaos, you find stillness. Letting go of ego is not weakness, it's strength. The kind of strength that listens instead of shouts, learns instead of defends, and flows instead of fights. Like water, you become clear, open, adaptable. You no longer seek to dominate or impress. You seek only truth. And in that truth, you rediscover yourself. Not the self the world expected, but the self that was always quietly waiting beneath the noise. So take a breath. Let the mask slip away. Let go of the need to win, to be right, to be seen. In that release, you will find what you've been searching for all along: peace. Lesson 5. Let go of expectations because they build the walls of suffering. Expectations, quiet, invisible threads, tie us to imagined futures that rarely unfold the way we hope. We walk through life writing silent agreements. They will appreciate my efforts. This plan will go smoothly. My kindness will be returned. And when reality dares to break these contracts no one else signed, our hearts ache. We feel betrayed, not by life itself, but by the gap between what we dreamed and what is. In Buddhism, we are reminded that at the root of suffering lies attachment, the mind's insistence that life should look a certain way for us to be content. Expectations are simply attachments dressed as certainty. They whisper, things must go this way, only then will I be at peace. But peace built on conditions is fragile. The moment life takes a different turn, as it often does, the illusion crumbles and suffering enters. Picture this. You enter a room expecting smiles and warm greetings. That hope paints a mental picture. But if the room greets you with silence, it is not the silence that wounds. It is the shattered image you held so tightly. Letting go of expectations doesn't mean we stop caring or trying. It means we act with kindness, with intention, with purpose, without chaining our happiness to a specific outcome. It is the art of effort without attachment, of giving our best while allowing life to unfold in its own mysterious way. We often expect from people what they never promised. We expect friends to read our minds, partners to always understand, loved ones to reflect our own way of showing care. And when they don't, the mind whispers, they failed me. But the truth is, they are living from their own experience, their own heart, not ours. Real peace in relationships comes not from controlling others, but from seeing them clearly, from loving them as they are, not as we wish them to be. When we release people from the cage of our expectations, we set ourselves free too. The same is true of life's path. We expect success to come on our timeline. We expect fairness from a world that simply moves according to its own laws. Yet, what we see as delays, detours, or failures often carry hidden gifts. The strength we didn't know we had, the patience we never thought we could hold, the new path we would have missed if our plan had worked. When we cling to expectations, we miss the miracle of what is. We become so focused on what should have been that we overlook the quiet beauty of what is becoming. Letting go of expectations is not about surrendering hope. It's about surrendering the demand that life look exactly as we imagined. It's the shift from controlling to wondering, from this must happen to let's see what life has to offer. And let's not forget the heaviest expectations of all, the ones we place on ourselves. The voice that says, I should be stronger. I should be further along. I can't fail. These self-made chains weigh down the spirit. To let them go is to honor our own humanity, to embrace growth over perfection, progress over comparison, and self-compassion over self-judgment. As the Buddha reminded us, you only lose what you cling to. When you let go of expectations, you do not lose your dreams, your hopes, or your direction. You lose only the suffering that came from demanding that life move to the rhythm of your plans. So breathe deeply. Trust the flow of life. Open your hands and your heart. Often, the peace you seek isn't in getting what you expected. It blooms in learning to love what you never expected at all. Lesson 6. Let go of the need to be understood, because truth needs no defense. There is a quiet longing within most of us, a longing so familiar that we barely notice its weight. It is the yearning to be understood, to be seen for who we truly are, to have our intentions recognized without suspicion, to be heard without judgment. From childhood, this hunger for validation grows roots deep within, shaping our words, our choices, our silences. We try to explain ourselves, defend our decisions, correct misunderstandings, hoping others will see our heart. But Buddhism gently points to a profound truth. This need to be understood is another form of attachment. And as with all attachments, it binds us to suffering. Not everyone will understand you. Not everyone will appreciate your silence, your growth, your boundaries, or your truth. And this too is part of the path. The Buddha taught the beauty of equanimity, a state of balance that remains unshaken whether we are praised or blamed. It is the art of standing steady amid both approval and criticism. When you cultivate equanimity, your peace no longer rises or falls with other people's perceptions. Your sense of worth no longer clings to external validation. You begin to act, speak, and live not from reaction, but from clarity and calm. The danger of always seeking to be understood is this: it ties your inner peace to someone else's lens. And no matter how clearly you express yourself, no matter how kind or honest your heart, there will always be those who cannot or will not understand. They hear you through the filter of their own fears, beliefs, wounds, and expectations. And so, trying to force understanding is like shouting at a storm, begging the rain to stop. It drains your energy and leaves you weary. The truth is simple. Not everyone is meant to understand your journey because they have not walked it. They have not carried your burdens, faced your choices, or seen through your eyes. And that's okay. Letting go of the need to be understood is not a withdrawal from life. It is a release from the exhausting loop of over-explaining, over-defending, overthinking. It is the quiet power of knowing your truth so deeply that you no longer need it validated by others. Your truth doesn't need to be announced or defended. It only needs to be lived. Your peace no longer depends on agreement. Your worth no longer waits for recognition. It simply is. This kind of inner trust is strength. It's the strength of a lone monk walking the mountain path in peace. It's the calm of a heart that knows its intentions are pure, even when doubted. It's the freedom of a soul no longer seeking permission to simply be. There is a Buddhist image that fits this wisdom: a great tree, still and unmoved, as the winds of opinion, judgment, and misunderstanding rush past. The tree does not bend with every gust. It does not break. It remains rooted in its truth. When others misunderstand you, pause. Ask gently, is this a moment for explanation? Or is this a moment for peace? Sometimes, silence is not weakness. It is wisdom. Because silence often speaks more powerfully than argument ever could. It is the response of one who has grown beyond the need to convince. There will be times when choosing peace over drama earns you labels: cold, distant, uncaring. There will be moments when your growth is met with suspicion instead of celebration. And there will be days when your boundaries are mistaken for rejection. But if your heart is clean, let that be enough. The Buddha said, silence is sometimes the best answer. Because silence is not emptiness. It is full of awareness, power, and restraint. It is the stillness of a soul that trusts truth to stand firm without defense. And as you practice this, something beautiful happens. You stop acting to impress. You act because it feels right. You stop chasing approval. You start attracting peace. Your words may become fewer, but they carry weight. Your actions may become quieter, but they shine with integrity. Letting go of the need to be understood does not isolate you. It brings you home to yourself. It frees you from waiting for others to reflect your worth. You become your own mirror. And in that reflection, you find something rare. Freedom. Freedom from the endless striving to be seen, heard, approved. Freedom to simply be. Yes, you will still be misunderstood. Yes, you will still be judged. But none of it will shake you. Because in letting go of the need to be understood, you have found something far greater. Lesson 7. Let go of the illusion of when, because now is all you truly have. There's a quiet trick the mind plays on us, a trick so subtle we rarely notice it. It whispers, "You'll be happy when," "You'll feel at peace when," "You'll finally rest when." And so we live in the shadow of when the promotion comes, when the debt is paid, when the weight is lost, when the relationship begins or ends. But here's the truth that Buddhism teaches us again and again. There is no when, there is only now. The Buddha called this the present moment's truth. This very breath, this very heartbeat, this is life. Everything else is memory or imagination. And the more we delay our peace, our joy, our gratitude, waiting for a perfect when, the more life slips through our fingers, unnoticed. Think about it. How many of your when moments have already come and gone? You reached that goal, got that job, found that love. And before long, the mind created a new when. Happiness always just a few steps ahead, like the horizon you can never quite touch. This is the mind's trap, to keep you chasing, waiting, delaying. But the path of wisdom is to stop, to see clearly, to realize peace isn't waiting in some future moment. It's already here, hidden in plain sight. So how do we break free from the illusion of when? The first step is awareness. Catch the thought when it arises. I'll be happy when. Pause. Ask yourself, why not now? What stops me from feeling peace in this very breath? Often, you'll find the only thing in the way is the mind's habit of postponing joy. Next, practice presence. Every time your mind drifts to some imagined future, gently bring it back to the warmth of your tea, the softness of your breath, the sound of the rain, the smile of a stranger. These small, ordinary moments. This is where life lives. And perhaps most powerfully, cultivate gratitude. Not for some distant success or event, but for what is already here. The body that carries you, the mind that can reflect, the heart that still hopes, still loves, still seeks. Letting go of when doesn't mean you stop dreaming or working toward goals. It means you stop believing that your happiness depends on those goals being met. It means you can walk your path with joy now, not just at the finish line. In Buddhist practice, this is called contentment in the present moment, santosha. It is the radical, beautiful art of saying, what I have is enough. Who I am is enough. This moment is enough. And the miracle? When you stop chasing happiness in the future, you begin to notice it everywhere in the present. In the quiet, in the chaos, in the pauses between your thoughts. So take a breath. Let go of when. Life is not waiting for you in some distant tomorrow. Life is here. Now, and now is the only doorway to peace you will ever need. Conclusion. In the end, the greatest peace you will ever find isn't hidden in a distant future or in things yet to come. It's here, in the gentle letting go, of control, of the need to be understood, of the illusion of when. It's in the quiet moments when you stop chasing and simply be. When you release what no longer serves you, you make space for clarity, joy, and a deeper connection with life as it truly is. As you leave this video, I invite you to take just one small